thank you everyone for taking the time and joining the Zoho Vault session today. It gives me immense to present this session. So my name is Mauli. I am the product marketing manager for Zoho Vault. And I also have my colleagues, Christopher, who heads the customer success and technical support, and Deepak, who heads our engineering division. So Christopher and Deepak will be in the background while I present the session. So you can feel free to post your questions, feature requests using the Q&A tab. So our team is here to answer your questions right away. So without getting delayed, let's get started. So this is going to be our agenda for today's session. First, we will see how to set up your Zoho Vault account, the basics of password management like storing, sharing and managing passwords. And for administrators, how you can get a clear visibility on who access what password and when. And a bunch of advanced features like password policy, data breach alerts, and data backup. Of course, we will have an interactive Q&A towards the end of the session. So for the starters, we assume a pretty bunch of you here are new to the Zoho Vault app, and we want to give a quick introduction. So why we need a password management solution like Zoho Vault? So when it comes to enterprise, most of these commonly shared accounts like a bank account or a software appliance or a server, which needs to be shared between multiple people. So the passwords of these accounts are mostly password 123 or admin 123, and they are stored inside a spreadsheet, sticky notes, sometimes printed and pasted on the machine itself, which means there is no clear accountability of who access what account and when, giving a nightmare for IT admins. And sometimes this even puts your brand reputation at risk. So cybersecurity, if we don't take cybersecurity seriously, we need to pay a lot of fine, and even sometimes businesses have gone out of operations for violating these norms. So just look at the screen. A strong password as recommended by the security experts. So can a human being, someone like us, can remember the strong and unique password and configure such a password for all our accounts? Not possible. Not possible for majority of us. So all of us need a solution like a password manager or Zoho Vault. So this is a free password generator that anyone can go ahead and try. So passwordgenerator.html inside the Vault website. So now that we know the major problem within an enterprise with poor password management and impossible, humanly impossible method to remember strong password for all the accounts. So all of us need to rely on a tool like a password manager. So what is a password manager? For starters, it is nothing but an encrypted vault where you put in all your password, and you can unlock it only with your master password, which only you have. So this vault is locked with your master password and it can be accessed only by you. And by unlocking this, you can log into everywhere else. That's how it works. To give a quick overview about what is a password manager is and why we should use it. It's just all right. Experts recommend us to use one strong and unique password for each account, but it is humanly not possible to come up with such a password and remember them to log in everywhere else. So that is exactly where we need a help of a password manager that has a robust password generator within it. And how it works, so you put in all your enterprise password into a vault, and you give role-based access and time-limited access to your employees, and your IT admins can get a clear picture of who access what account and when. So the need is clear and how we should use it clear. Now let's see how Zoho Vault helps you. Zoho Vault is a very simple but robust tool that helps businesses to securely store, share, and manage passwords. Not just password, you can even put in your confidential documents lesser than 2 MB into Zoho Vault. There is no cap here. You can store unlimited documents and unlimited passwords within Zoho Vault. When you compare with other vendors there in the market, there is always an upper limit. Say, for example, 1.5 GB or 2 GB, but whereas in Vault, we don't have any restriction in terms of storage. Zoho Vault also helps the users to automatically log in websites with our browser extension. And for IT administrator, it gives a lot of flexibility and comfort. So 4 levels of password sharing, password policy configuration for your company, data breach reports, offline access, and much more. The application is built on top of REST API. If you are a tech savvy company with legacy apps, or you want to integrate Zoho Vault with any of your in-house security solution, we have an API for you and also webhook. So you can reach out to our support to try our API to configure custom integration. So security architecture for an app like Vault, where you are sharing your enterprise password, which is highly important for you, you need to know how we are safeguarding your data, right? So this is how the architecture of Zoho Vault is set up. So there are 3 ways to access Zoho Vault. One is through the browser and through the browser extension, followed by the mobile apps or your tablets or your handheld devices like iPads. So what happens here is you type zohowall.com or the Zoho, open the Zoho application. You need to use your master password to configure your account. So this master password is only known to you, and all the password that is added or managed by you gets encrypted in the browser client side itself. And this encrypted data is alone sent to Zoho's data servers over a secure HTTPS connection. So we have data center in USA, Europe, India, Australia, and China. So based on your local compliance, you can choose your data center and you can maintain your data from that particular location. Zoho also gives you another level of security with multi-factor authentication. We have our in-house MFA app, Zoho OneNote, which comes bundled with all these Zoho applications. Especially for Vault, it makes a lot of sense because many times this MFA is sold separately at additional cost. So Zoho OneNote is free and it can be used for all application, not just for Zoho. Even if you have Gmail or any other third-party application, you can still configure MFA with Zoho OneNote, and you can use it in combination with Zoho Vault as well. Some of the major highlights of Zoho Vault. So when it comes to privacy, Zoho Vault is compliant with the GDPR in the European Union, CCPA for the North America, HIPAA for the North American region. So the application has 3 different roles, and role-based access and time-limited access is provided. And for administrator, it gives tamper-proof audit trials, meaning every single audit, every single activity is audited and it cannot be deleted from the account. And for the internal compliance or the internal auditing purpose, you can export the reports from Zoho Vault as a PDF and you can share it for the audit and compliance purpose. And for some highly confidential accounts like banks, servers, and all that, you can configure an additional level of security with our password request release workflow, which I will walk you through during the demo. So we understand that the world is moving towards a passwordless environment, and to cover it, we have started rolling out single sign-on for cloud applications, meaning you log into Zoho Vault once, and if you want to log into Dropbox or Salesforce or any other enterprise app, you can log in directly from your vault without entering the password. So again, this will be covered in our demo session. So all of this is available at a very affordable price, and the solution is there in the market for over 10 years, and it is recommended by most of the security experts. So we have multiple plans: standard, professional, and enterprise. The standard starts at $1 to enterprise at 8. And we also have a free plan, which is free for personal use. And just go ahead and explore the features or make use of the 14-day free trial. We don't even ask for the credit card information. So yeah. So the password management via mobile applications is also available on Android and iOS. And for Apple Watch, we also have an application inbuilt. Not just in your mobile application, Zoho Vault can be accessed from your browser as well. So all the leading browser, we have built an extension for all leading browsers, starting with Chrome, Firefox, and Safari. And recently, Zoho has launched its own private privacy-focused browser called as ULA. So here we have also built a Zoho Vault extension for ULA, which don't even have any third-party tracking of all that. I am presenting this session directly from my ULA browser. So this is how it looks. So this is my personal mode and this is my privacy report. I hit the see more button. You can get a clear picture of the list of websites that is tracking me and the list of websites that ULA is preventing me from its tracking. So it's highly secure and highly private. So Zoho as a company, we value security and privacy, and hence we have just rolled out this particular browser. And in combination with Vault, it makes a lot of more sense, right? So you log into all your application from your browser, and for passwords, we have Zoho Vault to help you manage. We are also building tighter integration with ULA, meaning, say for example, you go to Amazon.com and you are creating a new login account, and this password can be directly saved to your Zoho Vault. So this is the kind of integration that we are currently building at the moment. If you have any feedback that we want to build together inside the ULA and Zoho Vault, so let us know. As of now, the extension is readily available within ULA. You can go ahead and start making use of this particular extension within ULA. I'll come back to the presentation. So Zoho integration. So as you all know, Zoho Vault is part of the larger Zoho ecosystem, and we have started building contextual integration with all popular Zoho applications like Zoho Projects, Zoho Desk, and Zoho Mail. And for backup facility, we have integrated with Zoho WorkDrive, and to do some workflow with no-code tools, we have integrated with Zoho Flow. Go ahead and try out these integration. So my particular favorite integration is Zoho projects. Say, for example, if you have a new project and you want to share the list of password for that particular project alone, you can create a folder and share that folder directly with the project owner and the whole project team members. So we are building and exploring a lot of use cases for contextual integration. So if you have any particular use case in mind that we would like to explore or add to Zoho Vault, or in other Zoho application, feel free to share using the Q&A tab. So Zoho Vault doesn't just work with the Zoho ecosystem. We also work tightly with the other vendors. So Zoho Vault can be integrated with Google Workspace, Office 365, and corporate identity stores like Microsoft Active Directory, Azure Active Directory, OneLogin, and Okta. Meaning here, if you have a Google Workspace or Office 365, rather than inviting users via email, you can quickly import the users or user group into Zoho Vault, and you can get started faster. And for cloud storage services, and the type of integration that we offer is, you can configure data backup directly to your Zoho WorkDrive, Dropbox, or Box, or Google Drive. So Zoho Vault also offers advanced integration with help desk solutions like ServiceNow, Zendesk, Manage Engine Service Desk Plus. Meaning here, so if you have a help desk system for your internal IT service management and you want to share password based on the new ticket ID, you can automate this. Say for example, with ticket ID 123, they can go ahead, just enter this ticket ID and automatically access that password. That is the kind of integration that we are trying to build with the help desk solution. And for CM services, enterprises mostly have CM services like Microsoft Sentinel or SolarWinds Logly and all that. So all the password events that are triggered or performed within the Zoho Vault application can be sent to your CM service, and this service can help you to give you a holistic picture of your security landscape in your company. So don't just take our word for it. Zoho Vault is highly recommended by PC Magazine. It is it is editor's choice, and it is also recommended by other popular publications and industry experts. So now it's time for demo. I will quickly switch tabs. So what you see now is the Zoho Vault login screen. So once you sign up for the account, you will be asked to create your master password. So I am just entering my master password to access my account. So this master password is only known to you. and nobody else. Even Zoho server doesn't store this master password. So you can be 100% sure that your data is always yours. And even in the worst case, cyber security threats or hackers or even Zoho employees cannot access your passwords in plain text. What you see here is the dashboard. Once you log into Zoho Vault, you will be landed to the passwords tab. But it is better to get a good idea about your organization security and your personal password security. So here we have two dashboards, one for your personal and one for your team. So this is the admin view of Zoho Vault. I also parallelly open the user view. Okay, it's loading. Okay, let it load. I will walk you through the admin dashboard first. So here I click on the team dashboard. From here, if you are an administrator in your company, you can get the clear picture of the number of passwords in your company, number of folders and the users. And for the apps, you have configured passwordless access. And this is one of the most recent feature that we have rolled out, breached password, and we have rolled out by partnering with Have I Been Pawned. Zoho Vault will fetch the recently breached accounts from the Have I Been Pawned repository, and it will try to match it with your Zoho Vault storage. And I just click this button. I can see that 5 out of 68 password in my account are already part of some breach. So it makes sense for me to change this password to have a highly secure online security for all my accounts. So password assessment score is the strength of your overall Vault account. 41 is weak, 10 is reused. So we can just go ahead and click on them and we can work on this lower scores and get them updated. So password validity, if your organization has some password expiration limit, say for example, if you want to rotate password or change password in 30 days or 15 days once, you can configure them in Vault, and those notifications is visible for IT administrators here. So active users, from here you can see who are all the most active users in your organization and who are all the powerful users and who are all the non-compliant users. So non-compliant here meaning the number of users whose password doesn't match with your password policy or whose account has a lot of breached passwords and all that. You can get the list from here and you can immediately send them an email, ask them to get it updated to have better security for your organization. So this is the team dashboard that gives a full picture of the health password health checkup for your whole company. Likewise, at the personal level for the administrators, we also have this personal dashboard, which is very similar, but some of the team level listings like power users, non-compliant users, and all that will not be visible in the personal dashboard. So once you log into your Zoho Vault account, the first thing the first person who creates this account is considered as the super admin. So ideally, he or she should go to the settings tab, user management, click on the users. So from here, you can manually start adding users via inviting using the email IDs. So this is just one method. As I said before, Zoho readily integrates with Google Workplace and Microsoft 365, Active Directory, Azure Active Directory, Okta, and OneLogin. So you can integrate Zoho Vault with any of those applications and import the users directly inside Zoho Vault. Once imported, you can click on any particular users and configure roles. Role here meaning we have three different roles in Zoho Vault. One is the super admin, second one is the admin, and third one is the user. User is the most least privileged person in the organization. For 80 to 90% of your employees can be in user, whereas super admin and admin are the key decision makers or managerial level persons in your company. Super admin is the only person who can do subscription management, adding and removing of users, and deleting the account. Admin can do all the password acceptance, password sharing features, and all those privileges. And end user is someone who can just go ahead, log into Vault, view passwords owned by them or managed by them, and do nothing else more. So only for administrators, we will have this audit for folders, user groups, and others. And administrators alone will have the reports tab. Normal users will not have this reports tab at all. They will have audit tab, but many of these audits will not be visible to them. So that we know how to log into Zoho Vault and adding users, the next important step is to configure user group. In any organization, it makes sense for us to group users based on the departments, design, marketing, sales, or be it any function. You can create a group here and add users to those groups. This comes in handy when you add password and share it with the entire group, and which will help you to save you a lot of time. Once that is done, it is very important to enforce multi-factor authentication for your Zoho Vault account, because here is where all your enterprise passwords are staying. So it is highly recommended to configure multi-factor authentication. So you can do it with Zoho OneNote or YubiKey or any multi-factor authentication of your choice. And we recommend all our users to enforce MFA for your Zoho Vault setup. So once that is done, we will go to the passwords tab. As a user or an IT administrator, you would be interested to migrate all your enterprise password into your Zoho Vault setup. You can do it manually, or you can import it via a CSV file or from your browser or from other password managers, and you can import them into a Zoho Vault setup. Or if you are someone who is just getting started, you can hit this add button and get started manually. So we have 4 different options here. Site is where we have out of the box support for 400 popular websites. So just hit on this, the logo and the URL will be automatically fetched. You can click on this generate password tab to automatically generate strong and unique password based on your organization password policy. So not many users are aware about this particular function, TOTP key storage. So in some applications like LinkedIn or Twitter or other application, you can configure the second level authentication via TOTP. And now this TOTP for shared accounts can be managed within Zoho Vault. You can even add your LinkedIn TOTP to this particular account, and you can share it with securely, and you can securely store it in Vault, and you can share it safely with your team members. Go ahead and try this TOTP feature if you haven't done already. And we also have an integration for TOTP via Zoho OneNote tightly integrated as well. So yeah, so this is the way you add readily supported popular website. If you have other website which is not supported out of the box, you can click on the password tab. So here we have multiple categories, network equipments, payment cards, and SSH keys and all that. So another important thing that you should be aware, or a less known feature, is you can store documents within Zoho Vault. So you can add documents that are lesser than 2 MB here, and you can add it directly from your desktop or from any cloud apps, and you can store it securely within your Zoho Vault setup. So the popular use case here is to store your software certificates or social security number, or in India, people used to store Aadhaar, the national ID card. So anything which is very highly sensitive that you want to keep it in an encrypted vault, then this is the place for you to keep it secure. So now we know how to add users and add password. The next step is to share it securely with the team members. So click on any password, you will see this share button. A window will pop up. So from here, it will show the list of users in your organization. From here, you can click this one. So there are 4 levels of access privileges in Zoho Vault. One is the one-click login only. So this is the recommended sharing method, because here password is not shared in plain text, and the end users can automatically log into website without viewing the password in plain text. Say for example, I have my LinkedIn account which is shared to me. So from my extension, I just click LinkedIn, type for LinkedIn. I click login. And yeah, I am directly logged into my LinkedIn service without viewing the password in plain text. So this gives a lot of security and comfort for both administrators and end users. And the second method is to share password with view permission and with modification permission, and finally with the manage permission. So modify means they can edit the password, manage means they can edit, delete, or even share it with others. So this is a way how a password can be shared individually with users. The same method can be done for user group. For if you want to share the LinkedIn password with the entire marketing team, you can click on the user group and share it with the same sets of privileges. Of course, we recommend the one-click login only method. So not just for the users or the user group within your company, Zoho Vault works for third parties and temporary workers as well. So if you have temporary staff members or consultants with whom you want to share password, you can just enter the email ID here, and you can grant access for time limited duration, and you can also give them a message, and you can click on the share password button. And once they have accessed the password within this time duration, Zoho Vault will also prompt you to change this password for better security. So now we know how to add password and share them. The next method is the access control or the password request release mechanism. This is another feature which is not known or not popular among many of our users. So you can share password not just with privileges, you can also configure request release mechanism. Say for example, for this particular LinkedIn demo account, I am configuring access control. So I can configure something like this. If I want to share, if someone wants to access this LinkedIn account, he or she should share a valid reason, and it should be approved by 2 or 3 members from the marketing team, so that this person can log into the brand LinkedIn account and perform any actions. And this action or this access can be given only for a limited period, and it can be also be automatically validated based on some criteria. Say for example, any access control request that comes in during the weekdays. By this way, if someone wants to access the brand account during Sunday, which is very very suspicious, you can reduce those access or insecure access, something like that from here. So if you are someone who haven't tried this particular feature, just go ahead and see. We use this particular feature within Zoho Corp to share the passwords of servers, bank accounts, and all that, because for IT administrators, they know a clear understand. They get a clear understanding of why this particular person wants to access this account, this particular server, or this particular bank account, and the access is only granted for limited time period. So this is very very easy and a secure method to share highly critical assets like servers, bank accounts, IT infrastructure, and all that. So folders is something next we can see. So this is a very basic. Once you add passwords, you can group them to folders. By this way, you can do vice versa of what we saw before. Initially, we saw we can share one password with the entire user group from here. Likewise, you can put together all the similar passwords. Say, for example, you have 10 passwords of marketing team. You can put it here inside the marketing team, and you can share this entire folder, the user group, marketing department itself, or one particular user. So first you share one password with multiple user or single user. From here you share multiple password, meaning you share an entire folder with one user or the entire user group. Likewise, this folder can also be shared with third parties. So that is the type of use case that you can explore with folders and user groups. So basically it solves the purpose of bulk password sharing in any of the case. So SSO for cloud applications. So we understand the globe is shifting towards passwordless authentication. To cover the passwordless authentication as well, we have added this particular tab within Zoho Vault. So Zoho Vault readily supports passwordless authentication for over 150 plus cloud application. You name any popular apps like G Suite or Box or anywhere, you can configure them within Zoho Vault here. Once configured, it will be visible under the My Apps tab. So just see this. I have configured Dropbox passwordless authentication here. I click this one. It is, and this particular account can be accessed by this person and Christopher. So once this is done, I can see this Dropbox under My Apps. I hit on My Apps, click Dropbox. So without entering any password, I would be automatically logged into my Dropbox account. So by this way, Zoho Vault serves as two-in-one solution, one as a password manager and another one as a passwordless authentication system with single sign-on. So with single subscription, you can enjoy the best of both worlds, manage password and also passwordless authentication. So audit is something which is very comprehensive and very one of the major USP of Zoho Vault. We are very proud to offer a wide range of or comprehensive audit trials for our administrators. So take any particular action that is performed inside your Zoho Vault account, it is audited and you can see it with the action performed, version details, IP address and all that. So none of these audits can be deleted and and only the administrators can access this audit, and even the administrators, if they perform any particular search operation inside the audit, that will be available under the super audit here. So 27 June I have done a search query and it is again visible here. So you can also export this audit as a CSV or PDF for internal auditing purpose. And reports is something again we offer for internal auditing and external auditing purpose. Can just export it as a PDF and submit it to our internal auditors. So the exported report will look something like this. Okay, I have configured a wrong password here, I see. So the password, the report will open and you can submit this report. You can also configure the report without the password as well. So the report is available for user access, password access, folder access, and many other functions. Just go ahead and try these features. So now let's take a quick look of the advanced features that we offer within the Zoho Vault. The first one that you should be aware of is the password policy. As an administrator, it makes a lot of sense for you to have an org level password policy. Zoho Vault supports three levels of default password policy: less strict, moderate, and strong. And if you want to configure your own policy, you can name it custom or your organization name. Minimum length, it should be 8, maximum 100. Has a letter, include a mixed case, special character, and all that. So you can configure how often this password should be rotated based on your policy. But the recent research says it is recommended to have strong and unique password and not to change them often. So we leave it to the customers to configure this recycle day thing, or if you don't want to have a recycle password, you can click on the never button. Once this is done, the Zoho Vault password generated available within the application generate password only based on this particular policy. So just hit this button. This password generator works based on the password policy that is enforced in the application. So breached password is another feature that you should be aware of. So make use of this particular integration. If you already have a Zoho Vault subscription, just go to your team dashboard. If you are an administrator, if you are a user, you can still go to the team dashboard and view the breach password list. And an administrator, it is highly recommended to get a full picture of which user has the breached password for your organization account. It is very important to rotate this password to have better security and to safeguard your enterprise data. So data backup is something that every single company should configure. So all the data that is stored inside your Zoho Vault account can be sent or backed up as an encrypted file. So you can go ahead and you can send this backup to your Zoho Vault Drive or Google Drive or OneDrive, and you can configure the frequency directly from here, and you can also configure some exceptions for some users. So for some users, you don't want to send backup, and some for C-level executives or managerial level folks, they can get backup. You can configure all of those from here. So another recent feature that not many customers are aware is the rebranding one. So you can see the Zoho's logo here. Many companies want to have their own logo instead of Zoho's logo. They can go ahead and add their logo from here, and they can also add a message and all that and customize the app as per their needs from here. So offline access is something, if you are someone who travels frequently to remote locations where you don't get internet connection, you can download the offline access, offline copy from here. It is as secure as the web copy. So it is an encrypted HTML file. You need to enter your master password to access it, to view all your passwords. This comes in handy when you travel to a remote location where you don't have internet connection. So yeah, we have seen user management and other features. Another important feature is the fine-grained control. So Zoho Vault offers one of the most comprehensive fine-grained control. Say for example, you don't want to let your users to store personal password. So while adding a password, I missed this particular thing. So while adding a password, by default, this is demo on demo. Okay. There are by default this password will be considered as the enterprise password, but if you want to store personal password, you can mark them as personal and save it here. Once you mark a password as personal, it cannot be viewed or accessed by the IT administrators. So by this way, we give the flexibility for our users to store both personal and enterprise password in a single setup. Some companies prefer this, some companies don't. To help those users or those administrators, we have this fine grained control. If your company doesn't want your users to store personal password in your enterprise vault, you can enable this feature or disable this feature. If you don't want to let your users to export password, you can do it from here, restrict it from here. And likewise, there are many features that is very subjective for the own companies. You can go ahead and enable or disable any of these features as per your requirements. And now the entire world is working in a hybrid or the remote environment. So it makes sense for you to configure a wider IP range or a limited IP range from which your users can access Zoho Vault. By this way, you can secure your Zoho Vault setup from the cyber security or the cyber criminals. So go ahead and try this IP restriction as well. And again, alerts is something that many of you would be interested in. So if you are an administrator who wants to be notified if someone deletes a password, or a user is, whenever a new user is added or whenever a new user is deleted, you can configure notification instantly for administrators alone or for users as well. And you can configure it from configure those settings directly from here. I think I have covered most of the features or the basic and advanced ones from here. Go ahead and try any of these features. I'll jump back to the presentation now. So a quick snapshot or a heads up for you. Zoholics is our annual user conference that is happening across the globe. Right now, we have schedules for Canada, South Africa, Europe. In Europe, we are covering UK, Germany, France, Spain, and other Nordic regions. And APAC, of course, ANZ. For India, we are coming with a plan very soon. So just if you are interested to attend our user conference, just go to zoho.com/zoholics. You can enroll for these sessions, and you can also enroll for one-on-one trainings and all that. So here we will share all our latest updates and the latest enhancement that we are building. You can you can make use of this opportunity to learn directly from the Zoho experts. So paid trainings and certification. By default, whenever you sign up for Zoho Vault with a paid plan, Zoho offers you a free training to get you onboarded with the application. But for large enterprises who demands a training, a comprehensive training for their administrators and also for their end users, we have rolled out a new training module, a paid training module under Zoho Spark. You can go ahead and enroll for these trainings, and some organizations want their administrators to be certified for the Zoho Vault application. So once they are trained, they can also appear for an examination, a quick one, 25 to 30 questions, multiple choice. They can go ahead and enroll for this certification, and once certified, many companies want this for the internal compliance purpose. So for to support those enterprise use cases, we have rolled out paid training and certification. Of course, we offer the free training for all our users uh, for the onboarding process as usual. So this is for enterprise customer who wants tailor-made custom trainings, which is alone paid, and for certifications, they can make use of the Zoho Spark platform. So if you are interested to learn more via our help documentation or videos, you can go to zoho.com/vault and /help. Here we have hosted all our online help documentation, how-to videos, tutorials and guides. Make use of these resources. And if you still have any questions, you can write to support@zohovault.com. And we are active on social media, LinkedIn and Twitter, and all our trainings and webinars and how-to videos are added to Zoho's YouTube channel. So yeah, send us your feedback, good, bad, or anything. We'll be happy to take it, and we'll make sure to improve our apps, services, and our sessions. So now it's time for Q&A. I will jump back. So Q&A is handled by Christopher very well. I could see most or all the questions are handled by Christopher. So Christopher, I'll go on mute. If you want to highlight any of your questions, you can do it now, because some questions can be useful for many of the customers. Likewise, I request every one of you to post your questions, make use of this time. So Christopher and Deepak are here. So shoot your questions. It's time to have some live Q&A. Thank you.
Thank you, Molly. So I see a couple of interesting questions in the session. Like one of them is about sharing passwords without revealing the actual password to the user. So which is like very well achieved, like achievable with our one-click login only sharing permission. So normally when we share passwords or folders with other team members, we have different access levels. So the access levels can be configured at the password level, and we can also do this at the folder level when we share, like passwords in bulk. And the access levels are like login only or one-click login only permission. And we have view permission, which is a read-only permission. And with read-only rights, users cannot edit or delete the password. And next, we have modify permission, and the modify permission allow users to view and update the information that are shared with them. And finally, we got a manage permission, and that gives full permission to our users, which means we can view, edit, and in addition to that, they can share the passwords with other team members in the vault, and they can also, like delete the password. So when we provide co-owner rights, they get the full access to the passwords. And the next one is about the breached password functionality, so which is available in Vault. And as you said, like we have an integration with Have Been Pawned, and we do detect and display the passwords that are compromised in a data breach. And I also got like a very good suggestion from one of our customers, Atish, mentioning that we should display a password when it is breached, or when we try to create new password, we should display the message if that's a breached one. So which we will definitely take forward to our development team. And one more question is about the TOTP sharing feature. So this feature is primarily introduced to manage shared accounts, and we have certain customers who have a common account that is used by multiple team members. So for instance, let's take the Twitter handle of Zoho Vault. So this has been used by multiple team members in our organization to do continuous post about the product or to enhancements that we bring up in the tool. And in such cases, being a business account, it should be very well protected. And for such circumstances, we need to enable the MFA option for the account as an additional layer of security. So when an additional layer of security, we introduce MFA to that account. When someone needs access to it, we need to contact the device owner in a usual way. Like we need to contact that person. We need to get the OTP code they receive on their TOTP generator application they use, or the mobile number to which it is configured. So rather than we rely on one particular device or to a specific user, so we can centrally manage all of these access from Vault. So just by configuring Vault as an MFA to the third-party application. So that is, we have implemented inbuilt TOTP authenticator functionality in the tool, and you have two different options in the product. So either you can scan the QR when you configure the MFA for the account, you can choose the TOTP authenticator or authenticator option in the product. And when you choose the TOTP authenticator, you get two options, either to scan a QR or you can copy the key and configure the TOTP manually. So if you want to do it manually, we can go with the web interface. And in case if you have Zoho Vault mobile app installed on your device, you can scan the QR directly from Vault. So these are some questions that we have seen in this session. So if there are any further questions, please do post it in the chat section. There are certain questions about sharing the recording of this session. So I hope the record version of this session will be shared to all the registrants. And there is one last question about the third-party sharing. So when we share passwords with third-party or outside users, so at the moment, we provide, a prolonged or a full access only to members of the Vault setup. So when you share passwords with an external user who is not part of the Vault setup, so there is a time-bound restriction where you can set a time frame between 30 minutes to maximum of 24 hours, after which the password access link will expire. So in such cases, when we provide access to a third-party user, they may have, access to the, the read access to the password, and there are chances they might, copy the username and password information. And in certain circumstances, it is, as a security best practice, we recommend to update the passwords, once the usage of the third party is completed. And there is one another option, we have a requirement to store backup codes along with passwords for a few sites. So can we have a provision for that? So so this is currently, this is also achievable with Vault. So when you store the credentials, for the website, so you can click the additional field option in the add password or in the edit password form. And so can we have a provision for that? So so this is currently, this is also achievable with Vault. So when you store the credentials, for the website, so you can click the additional field option in the add password or in the edit password form. And when you click on the additional field option, you can create a custom field in the Vault. So you can provide the label name and store the backup key along with the credentials in Zoho Vault. Or in case if you need any further clarification or assistance towards this query, you can always write to support@zohovault.com. And so Sifa, please drop an email to support@zohovault.com so we can share or assist you, like in a better way to achieve your requirement with storing backup codes to Zoho Vault. And there is also one more question about mapping users to user group. So yes, so when we, like move user from one user group to another user group, so automatically, they will get access to passwords and folders that are assigned or configured to that particular user group. So in case if user is removed from an existing user group, they will lose access to the, like the passwords and folders that are, like shared with the old user groups. So with respect to Zoho Vault roadmap, yes, there is a link available. So Molly, can you share the link? So I think we have answered all the queries in this session, and you can take over, Molly.
Thank you, Christopher, for patiently answering all the questions, and thank you, Deepak, for answering a bunch of questions as well. So with this, I think we are winding up. I say thank you along with Christopher and Deepak. So we wish to do these sessions more often. So if you have any feedback for us on what areas that we should cover next, let us know. In that way, it will be mutually beneficial to run a session that what the users want. And if you also have any preference in the timings that we should run these sessions, let us also know that. So anything good, bad, or ugly, feel free to share your feedback at support@zohowall.com. We will be happy to address them and improve our next sessions. So thank you very much. Have a nice day.